They Said We Said. This is John giving you my weekly spoiler review of The Walking Dead. This is for Season 7, Episode 6, Swear. Ugh. I think we did it. I think we hit the rock bottom. This is the bottom of the barrel. It only goes up from here. Episode 6, Swear. Well, it makes me want to swear because it wasn't a very good episode. So the episode starts off with the trailer that we've seen, the TV spot, where it has what we'll call Charlene Manson, because this little girl is just a horrible little serial killer, and Cindy, and they find our buddy Tara that we haven't seen in a while washed up on the beach. Charlene Manson is trying to stick her in the head, and she said, she realizes that Tara's alive. She doesn't care. She wants to do it anyways, because apparently that's the rules, whatever the hell that means. And Cindy, who is a little bit older, winds up saving her, brings her ashore, gives her some salted fish, some water, and a spear. So this episode had a lot of flashbacks also. It flashes back to the scene with Tara and Heath in the RV. So we find out that they've been gone for about 2 weeks since the survivors went to take out the saviors at the satellite. You could tell it's really wearing on Heath. So he is kind of lost faith in humanity. One of the Alexandrians, and he was sheltered, just like the rest of the Alexandrians were. So being exposed to this level of violence from the survivors, it's really taken a toll on him. So that's what Heath and Tara are kind of dealing with, and Tara's trying to be kind of a good support system. So this now ends my favorite part of the episode. Everything else was borderline unwatchable. So Tara and Heath set out for one last hurrah. All they found is some rusty cans and some whatever, and they find this bridge, and on this bridge it looks like a temporary little encampment. There's some tents and some cars and a big dump truck with a huge pile of dirt. So of course someone has to, rummage through the kitty litter and boop, pop up a bunch of walkers. And, I've been praising this season for the walker effects. This episode's walker effects were just really bad. They look like Halloween costumes. Flash forward again, and you have Tara kind of following Cindy to see wherever she's going, and she finds this encampment. So then, boom, we're in Oceanside. Not the nice California Oceanside, but pretty nice all the same. She's looking around, and you think that Tara would be pleasantly surprised. It's like she, fell asleep, woke up, and she's in the island of all women. It'd probably be pretty good for her. But lo and behold, she sees a giant armory. They have a ton of guns, and she gets found out. She gets chased off. They're shooting at her. She takes one of them out just by hitting her in the face with a shotgun, and then she becomes prisoner. This is my time to talk about my feelings on Alana Masterson as an actress. Oh boy, I think she's dopey. I really do. She wasn't in the show enough to remind me that she was this bad. The whole time it's just like quip after quip, or just this weird, adolescent humor. She's taken prisoner, and these ladies have like a kill on sight order, and they're keeping her alive. They're even being kind of nice to her, but she's being sarcastic. And I don't know if it was the direction or Jim Masterson's performance that just did not sell me at all. I thought this was the worst acted episode probably of The Walking Dead ever. With her little jokes, her little dopey fist bumps, it just didn't come off as genuine. It just came off as really out of place. The music was bad. This episode was directed by I don't care, I don't want to know, because if I find out who this director was, it will make me less excited for future projects that they do. So I didn't even want to see who the director was of this episode. So then the Oceanside women explain to Tara what they're all about, what happened to them, what's their backstory. We find out that they were under the Saviors in a different location. They escaped. They have killed all their men. They executed all of them one by one. Any boy or man over the age of 10. They just shot in the head, and that was it. So that was an interesting story. That's an interesting setup piece for this particular camp. It is tragic, and it just goes to show that, if they piss Negan off or whatever happened, that, life under Negan is still not a very good life. Then the main lady, I forgot, she had kind of a weird, dopey name. She extends the olive branch to Tara. She tells her, we don't want to let you go because you've kind of seen too much, and we don't want to lead anyone back because of what they went through, which is understandable. But hey, you could live here. You could have this awesome fish stew all the time, which, Tara really enjoyed. You could stay here with us and live here. And Tara elects to go back, and she kind of talks the lady into letting her go back to Alexandria. She finally comes clean and tells her where she's from. She says, maybe we should set up some kind of a trade thing, or, our groups together are a stronger group. So she convinces everyone, and off they go. And then, of course, just because in weird, dopey fashion, nothing could go right in this show. So, Tara uses a walker as a diversion to try to escape. Her two little bodyguards that were just, like, so generic, like, henchmen kind of people. Like, the acting, again, was terrible. After her, and lo and behold, Cindy comes to the rescue again. This poor girl, is just very optimistic. She just wants to help out, and she wants to, have the groups come together. Tara burns her again. So she winds up leaving, and then even after all that, Cindy offers to help her get through the bridge that's covered with the Sandy walkers again. And, that's our bit of action for the episode, which was like, okay, it was fine. It was pretty subpar, though. So Tara gets away. While this is happening, we get another little flashback of what's going on with Heath, because they got separated. We learn that Tara actually fell off the bridge into the water, and Heath was just kind of holding them off. And at first it cuts and it makes it seem like Heath kind of just, took off and said, see you later. But then after the episode progressed, it did show that Heath did try to help her get away with maybe, his sacrifice, or maybe not. So Tara gets away, and then she sees the back of some dreadlocks, and we're like, oh, wow, I guess Heath didn't get away. And then this is like one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in The Walking Dead. She gets like real close to this obvious walker, and it turns around, and it's this woman with just like crazy dread hair. Man, the Glenn dumpster scene, but then this scene, really, like, this was like cheese. So then Tara gets back to Alexandria, and she's all happy. She's got some goofy glasses on, and she's fist bumping away. And she gets to Alexandria, and she's all happy. She sees Eugene. Eugene's already, like, in tears before she even gets in the gate. Off screen, it explains that Denise has been killed. Probably catches, Rosita and Eugene catch Tara up to speed on everything that's happened. Rosita's pressing her for information on where she's been. And because Tara swore to Cindy that she wouldn't divulge the information of Oceanside, she keeps the promise. I mean, what was the point? What was the point of this episode? Yes, we got to meet another group. Yes, their story is pretty interesting, It's just a bunch of women and a bunch of kids. It's a very tragic story. They escaped the Saviors. They have found this place. They have this, all these rules and stuff. So they were pretty interesting, but just how it was handled was just so dopey. It was just like, oh, we have a kill on sight order, and then Tara was able to waltz in and knock out one of their henchmen, and no repercussions. She got offered a bathroom break and some fish soup. This episode, I mean, it was bad. And between that, the walker effects, the fake out death at the end with Heath, obviously Heath isn't dead, or he's not dead there. It was a longer episode. It was a prolonged episode. It was just like, this one was probably the worst episode of The Walking Dead. So my rating for The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 6, Swear. I'm going to give it a 0.8 out of 5 Sandy Walkers. This one was a big disappointment, guys. I try to be optimistic about this show, and I am. You know, I'm going to tune in next week, and I'm sure it's going to get better, and I'm sure maybe in the grand scheme of things, this will all tie in together into the big Kirkman masterpiece, but man, this one was rough. So guys, I want to hear what you think of our new little setup, and I want to give a shout out to my son from the Psionics Sea channel for helping me set this up. Expect a bonus Walking Dead episode this week. We're going to be recording it tomorrow with a special guest. Spoiler alert, it's Tyler. So just tune in tomorrow and you'll find out. So please like, comment, subscribe, do everything to let everyone know about this. And we'll see you next time. Woohoo! Say stuff. And say random things.
I love my pillow. What?
Hey, Noah.
Yes?
Thanks for letting me use your bed sheet.
See?